Gary and Derek started the Fat Podcast to just get more fitness information out there that's reliable, and to just kind of shed different perspectives that are not usually shed on things. So like, I know you just started Phenyx Lounge, which I think is sort of aimed towards doing a similar sort of thing. And so
the biggest thing with the Phenyx Lounge is pretty much allowing people that are like in the fitness community to kind of share stories about different obstacles they've been able, like they've, endured, and how fitness has helped them, in a sense, overcome that or rise again.
That's dope.
Right. So yeah, we thought it would be a good idea to bring you on because you were building Phenyx Athletica, that clothing brand, and what do you got? A beard line coming too?
Yeah, I got a beard line coming out in June. I do the stuff with the Blackseed. Those are the three main things I'm trying to like focus on right now. Like I do other stuff, obviously real estate and all that, but like as far as like
so like the big things you focus on are Blackseed, Phenyx Athletica, and now the beard stuff. How do they fit together? Are they just like separate companies that you're managing?
Yeah, it's pretty much separate companies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who you got pushing the beard line thing for you? Like, you got any males?
So we just ran like a little campaign to have like brand ambassadors and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But we're about to have a photo shoot here in a couple of weeks. But as far as like influencers and stuff, I think we're gonna start off small with our network and then kind of grow it from there, just so keep the cost kind of down a little bit initially.
Are you still looking for other beard influencers?
I mean, we'll always be looking, but
I'm like, I don't have anything, obviously, but there's some other people here that actually have beards.
Yeah. So we're just trying to get. We finally got the product down to where exactly we will like it. So we're having like mass produced right now in a sense, and then we're gonna have the photo shoot so we can get some content, and then from there, hopefully June 1st we'll be able to launch it.
So for you to say you putting real estate to the side, like on a whole,
I do all these, like every single one of these has my full attention.
Okay. But right now, the main intent is going to go towards these three things that you just mentioned right now. So I'm assuming real estate doing good for you to be like, all right, you know what? Let me go ahead and push this hard real quick.
Yeah, no. So I don't know.
You got a good project management though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was a project manager for all my jobs pretty much.
Okay. Oh, so you all right?
Like
that's
yeah. So whenever I started, so I got an electrical engineering degree, and I have an MBA. And so like my jobs were project engineering, which entailed like project management for the most part. So while I do all this stuff, it doesn't feel too overwhelming in a sense. But yeah.
Why'd you get out of engineering?
Take it away from something else.
Like, why'd you get out of engineering and product management?
It's not for me. I think one of the things with me doing it in the first place was just knowing that I would be able to, graduate college and make good money out of college. That way I don't have to rely on my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
he's asking because he's also an engineer.
Yeah, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I dabbled in project management in my last job, and I'm trying to get out of engineering too.
Yeah, so I was doing engineering for about like 5 years, and then I got my MBA in 2017. And then the year after that, or pretty much last year, I worked as a senior commercial analyst at a oil company. So I kind of was able to switch into more of a business role in a sense.
Right.
But even with all that, I just knew I had to jump out and do something on my own before I started having a family and all that stuff that way.
I feel you. I feel it.
So you still work full time doing that consulting for that company or project management?
No, I'm completely out now as of November of last year.
How were you able to get out? Just real estate investing?
You know what was crazy? So, like I said, I told myself. So I'm 29. I told myself I would have to be out of the corporate world by 30. This is actually crazy. During like the budget season, they ended up like laying me off. So like it expedited what I was trying to do like a few months. Like literally like a week before my birthday, they had laid me off. But it was one of those things where it wasn't like I was mad or like, oh, please, like, what can I do, blah, blah, blah. Because it wasn't like I wasn't doing my job or whatever the case was. You know, whenever they had laid me off, they were just pretty much saying, you know, it wasn't a good fit. And you know, one of our friends that works there now, you know, I think he tried to get some information later. And I think what one of the managers were saying was because like I talked about real estate a lot, like my focus. I was like, that really doesn't mean anything. Like, it wasn't like my work performance was dropping, but like I said, it was one of those things where I knew I was going to get out soon. It just happened a few months sooner than expected.
Hey, that's real crazy because the exact same happened to me, but in February. In February, they gave me a call and said, "Hey, we're gonna let you go," and they couldn't come up with any reason as far as like my performance or anything I did at work. And I think I had some coworkers kind of come back around to me and ask me, "Hey, is such and such talking about you?" Because they asked me if you're doing any of this work. And I told him that he's doing all of the work. I'm not doing any of it. But he's telling me he's giving it to me and giving it to you guys because he doesn't want to talk to you. And they gave me the same spiel. But that's interesting. Yeah. But you know, kind of like what you were saying, like when I got that call, could they fire me on my day off? But they gave me a call and I was like, oh, all right, I come get my stuff on Monday, and hung up the phone. Like, all right, man, it is what it is.
Yeah, for me, they literally waited until the end of the day to do it.
Yeah.
Did you have any other sources?
I was like, you could have did it in the morning. I ain't got to work. Like, I was like I said, we're deep in the middle of budget season. So like I'm doing all this damn work, you know, working overtime, working late.
They wanted you to finish the job first.
Yeah. So it was really a blessing, you think, to get the push out to what you wanted to really do?
Yeah. I mean, because I would say it was a blessing. Like I said, the intent has always been, you know, what was it, November, December, 3 months later, I was going to leave anyways, just with the bonus check. I would say it was a blessing because whenever that happened, like I wouldn't say like the next 2 months, I didn't really, in a sense, know what to do with myself. Like I had to like adjust to being on my own, or not even being on my own, but just like forging my own path, you know? So like, with me being like super routine based, like always having something to do, it was just an interesting period where I had to adjust. So like sleeping in late, like I never done that. Like for the next month, I just whenever I wake up, I wake up.
That's a trap.
I just think my body just needed to recover from all these years of like working for somebody else. So as far as like blessing in disguise, I think it's a mix because like I said, I plan to have left anyways, but them doing it early, yeah.
So when you didn't have any source of income at the time, like that was your only source of income when you got let off?
I mean, yeah, pretty much. The income that I get from like real estate, it's like, you know, from rental properties and stuff. I don't touch that, so I don't consider that income, even though I guess banks or whatever would. But yeah, that was my primary source of income. But the good thing was, just growing up, my parents are Nigerian. Especially learning from my dad, like I was very, very frugal, so I saved a lot of my money, and so that allowed me to like live off of. I've just pretty much been living off of that because I have a house that I'm building right now, and that thing should have been done. It was crazy. It's crazy because I closed on it in November. It was supposed to be done like by probably like January, February time frame, and then I was supposed to leave, so I've been like clear, good to go.
Is that the one with the 203K loan?
Yeah. So like I'm building an addition to this house, and I was going to Airbnb that out. So, so pretty much that income was going to supplement what I was paying for my mortgage, and then I'll be living for free. And that allows me to not worry about, living expenses. But unfortunately with this deal, like it's just been so slow. Like I'm still waiting on it. Like I'm praying that I can get it done by June. But you're in the process right now trying to frame up the home. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that was my primary source of income whenever I had left.
Man.
Okay. So let's rewind because we kind of just jumped right into it. You were talking about your upbringing. You're the son of Nigerian immigrants, or you immigrated too? Or were you born in America?
I was born in Houston, Texas. My parents came in the 80s, and my dad came first. He didn't know my mom. Like he came, I want to say like 81, went back to Nigeria. I think he ended up meeting my mom, and then they came down or back around like 1986 or so, and then ended up getting married the year I was born. But yeah, so just Nigerian parents, growing up through that background, stuff's real strict. Just from learning of what I've been through, some things obviously I'll do a little bit different with my kids. Just with stuff.
I mean, you keep saying and like I come from immigrant background too, but like I think people don't really know. Like people really don't know like what's the difference until like they're in it and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. But yeah, like for example, my parents pushed education really hard. Didn't really play sports, like competitive sports. Even though I was like really naturally good at it. So like I have this like perfect body type for like football or something like that, and I never got to play, which was, I feel, unfortunate. But I know that I would whenever I have kids, would afford them to allow them to play sports. Probably not football, just because that's just crazy. But just
concussions and such. So how did you make? If you didn't really have like an athletic background, how did you make the leap to want to make a fitness clothing line?
So I didn't have an athletic background as far as like competitive sports, but like, intramural leagues, all that other stuff. Like I was always a part of those stuff like that. So I was really good. Like, it was crazy. I have this one story. So I went to the University of Texas at San Antonio. It was like at the time a small commuter school, and they didn't have a football team at the time. And in 2010, they were doing tryouts to bring college football to San Antonio at the school, and they weren't going to start until like the year 2011. And so I decided to go ahead and try out for the team. And it was crazy because like the tryouts were right, I want to say maybe like a week after spring break. And, I go down to South Padre here in Texas, drinking and all that stuff. And then you come back, and I kid you not. So tryouts happen, man. I run like a 4.55 in New Balances, and I slipped. Like my vertical at the time was like, I think then was like a 38. So like all these measurables, like I was killing it. But like I said, I never really done football as far as like going through a practice or anything like that. So when, you know, drills and stuff started to happen, like I wasn't the best, but it was more so because I wasn't really taught. Like if you give me
still raw,
I'm probably gonna get you're gonna get what you need out of me. So, you know, it was crazy because like at the time when that happened, like I had my name in the paper, like all this other stuff, and then you get a basic ass email saying, oh, you know, unfortunately, you know, we have to go with other people. Pretty much anybody that tried out didn't make it. They had their guys from JUCO and stuff that they had planned to bring on the team. But yeah, like me not really having a highlight tape probably worked against me. But yeah, so I ended up, it was crazy because I ended up transitioning to doing cheerleading. And that was just from me not making a team. I never did cheerleading before, but the coach had sent out a blast email saying like big dudes wanted to help, you know, cheerleader girls kind of like practice for, you know, the competition season. And my friend did it first. And it's like, man, it's pretty cool. Went and joined and ended up being pretty good at it. But yeah, so that was kind of how I did something sportish wise. But how that transitions to, I guess, Phenyx Athletica is, I mean, kind of like how I spoke about earlier. I just like doing a lot of projects, do a lot of things. Phenyx Athletica is like me wanting to rock my own stuff. Like it's cool to rock Nike, it's cool to rock Adidas, Puma, all these big name brands, but to rock my own stuff, like say Phenyx, like that's something big for me. And so whenever I started it, you know, I went ahead and, you know, sourced out products over in China. I actually hired this one, what's it called? You know, there's people on Fiverr that kind of find stuff for you, or
a designer on Fiverr?
Wasn't a designer, but he was pretty much a person that went through Alibaba and like sourced all the manufacturers that could do certain types of clothing. And then
I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah. So he went through, sourced, like I told him what I wanted. He went through, looked at different companies that could possibly do what I wanted, list them all out, list the contact information, all that stuff. And I was able to go through and see what I wanted, see who could do what. And then I contacted them and kind of went from there, you know, ordering samples and going through that process.
Man, that's what's up. Just like paid for a material sampler to kind of figure that out for you. Man, that saves so much time. Yeah. Doing it on your own leave you frustrated.
Right.
So how long has the line been going on now for? Is 2 years or 1 year?
Phenyx is, I guess, technically is coming up 2 years. I kind of did like a relaunch late, like November-ish time frame last year. That's when I made like the commercial, and just like had a whole little pop-up shop for it. But you know, with Phenyx, that's just something where you know, I definitely made a lot of mistakes as far as like learning experiences. So, you know, the apparel industry is already hard as it is. And if you don't have, you know, good marketing, it doesn't matter how good your quality material you have, like people don't know, they're not going to buy your stuff. Mm-hmm. And so it's tough, especially if you're not already a big person yourself, like an influencer, to pitch it. Like if you're just a guy, you know, on Instagram, you have like 1,000 followers and you're pushing it to your immediate following, you might have like maybe 5 or 10 people that kind of support you in the beginning, but that's not enough to, you know, make any kind of money. And so like the really like to make the money, it's going to be the people that aren't in your inner circles, the people that don't know you.
Out of state.
Correct. Out of state, like shoot, out of the country sometimes. Yeah. But so, you know, a lot of this stuff with Phenyx so far has been kind of like word of mouth. And so, back to the mistake. So whenever I was sourcing a lot of this products, you know, I made sure like the material was top notch. Like anybody that wears my stuff, like that's one of the things that they can say like it's great quality material. And because like I charge, you know, kind of high too, but it's more so because it's actually good quality. And so whenever I purchased a lot of stuff up top. So whenever you're buying out like through Alibaba and stuff like that, you know, most of these manufacturers have minimum quantity orders of like, let's say 100 for some joggers.
And that's with one size, right?
Huh?
No,
I said, and that's with one size, right?
So you could do multiple sizes of that 100, but it's only one color.
Somebody beat me over the head and they said I could only order a minimum of 100 and it had to be one size. Yeah, I couldn't even talk with them anymore after that.
Right. So like both like so whenever I was getting like the joggers, you know, the athletic kind of like dry fit type of shirts and stuff like that, like I said, most of these stuff was a minimum quantity order of like 100, and then you have to only do one color. And so I bought a lot of this stuff in bulk. Like, all right, man, I would just buy it. I'm gonna go ahead and get these sold, and then you know profit, and then you know flip it back over and stuff like that. But if I were to do it again, what I would have done was start with one. If I was going to do something in bulk, I would have just started with one product and then make sure that product does well. That way I'm not just sitting on a bunch of inventory and probably push more on the marketing side of things with ads and stuff like that. Just because, like I said, you know, you're going to have your initial push of people that are in your following that know you, that might support you. But past that, they're not going to keep buying from you. Like that's not going to be enough to sustain you. So you need to get, you know, grow that community, build a community to where people are always wanting. If you're saying, shoot, if you do pre-orders, they're lining up and buying all your stuff. That way, you technically don't even have to come out of pocket if you get enough of pre-orders. And so doing that, you know, kind of like going forward with what I'm doing now that the word of mouth thing is kind of like dying down for me, I'm definitely putting some of my profits, because I'm now becoming a little bit more profitable, to doing a lot more ads, like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and just getting some influencers to promote as well. So like once I completely run out of my inventory that I have now, I'll probably drop down to like 2 or 3, or maybe two to 4 products, probably 2 for men, 2 for women, and just regrow it that way. That way I don't have to come out of pocket a crazy amount again.
So what are you doing to get your name out there now that like you said, so was that what you're leaning on heavily, is the Facebook ads and Instagram ads, or are you like, is there, like Texas is big for working out? Seemed like everybody down there like big and cut and all that. So it seemed like you would have, like, I guess what I need to ask is, are you going to like different gyms and trying to do like pop-up shops, or getting around with the local influencers down there?
Yeah, so it was actually crazy. So, you know, earlier on we were doing that, going to, like, I would go to LA Fitness. That was my normal gym. And, you know, with them, they'd allow me to, you know, set up shop and kind of like sell stuff. But like for me, I'm not, like, my strength isn't going out and selling to people. Like, honestly, I needed someone else to do that part for me. Like sourcing, getting the product, you know, all the behind the business stuff, I could do that all day, no problem. But like going out and pretty much asking someone to buy my product, that's something that I don't do very well. And so whenever I started Phenyx Athletica, actually, someone had asked me to come aboard. And, you know, that person was, you know, pretty good at marketing as far as like their network of bringing in people that might have been of bigger influence. But I mean, after a while, it just didn't work out in the way that I wanted to. So I ended up having to buy them out and kind of like start over again. But now, like I said, I'm becoming, you know, a little bit more profitable. My intent is to push more heavily into making ads, like certain type of video ads that push hard on call to actions, and push heavier into sponsoring just small local events, whether that's giving away free product and kind of getting my name out there with some of these bigger influencers, because you know a lot of these influencers, they might go to the parks, host their little workouts or, you know, events, and, you know, just kind of get my name out there. It's kind of say, okay, I can give out, you know, 10 shirts and provide water for you guys, you know, just, you know, promote Phenyx. I can give you a code, use your code, you know, you can get
right,
whatever the case is. And so that's one of the things that, you know, just most recently I've been going heavily into, like, once this pandemic really goes out.
Are you gonna because like it's like, so was it statewide that Texas is reopening, or did you guys ever shut down?
We shut down, but Houston, as of last week, we opened, we did the phase 1 of the opening. So like bars and stuff are not bars, but like restaurants and stuff started opening.
What about gyms?
Gyms are the 18th, I think, is when gyms will start. Not all of them, but like some of, like one of the ones that I go to, F45, they're opening theirs on the 18th. So
what is it, like a CrossFit gym or something? Group
circuit kind of stuff.
Got you.
Yeah. Not as it doesn't tear your body up like CrossFit. I don't think I could do CrossFit, but it's like group circuit.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a specific target audience that you want to hit? So like bodybuilders or not the CrossFit people, but, you know, like circuit trainers, or is there anyone in particular?
So my audience I would like is you know, just women that I want, people that wear my stuff to kind of feel elite in a sense. So like if you look at my line, I want it to look like, you know, luxury wear. So like people that will work out at Equinox, you know,
yeah.
Like they have no problem spending $70 on a damn jogger or whatever the case is. Like that's the type of stuff, because the quality matches there. And so,
right.
You know,
so you're not begging for a sale.
Correct. Like, exactly. like I don't want to, like, it says beg for that, but
I think that's the problem you run into when you try to make an affordable line and price points that work for everybody, is that people are like, they take it for granted because they're like, oh, it's so cheap, but my probably is not that good. But it's sad, honestly.
Yeah. And I think that's where kind of like the marketing kind of plays a big factor in that as well. So like I'm still in that period of trying to figure that all out. You know, I have these powerlifting shoes that I have designed, I have created, you know, had a tech pack design created for it, but just a lot of these manufacturers just keep playing. Like
you're trying to make a belt too, right?
A belt as well. I had some samples made, but or prototypes made, but they were just way too big. So I had to readjust it. I just haven't told the people to kind of like produce another sample for me to test out and see if it's a go.
Okay. Do you have to buy those in bulk too? In the bulk samples?
Yeah. I found a new manufacturer that isn't in China. They are in Pakistan, and at least luckily for me, their minimum orders aren't as high as what China would be. So at least with the belts, I think I'll be able to get a few without going crazy, like, you know, going crazy, and you know, just test how those will sell. And like I said, I would like to do some more with the shoes, but I still got to figure that whole process out. But they're the ones that made my my shorts, my compression shorts and the training shorts that I have. They're the ones that made those, and so for them, their minimum quantity order is more like 10, and you can do by different colors and different sizes and stuff like that. So that's kind of one that I like about these guys. They just need to open. They shut down due to COVID.
Okay. So where do you see the line growing? Is it ever going to grow to more than just a clothing line? Have you like thought that far?
Yeah. So I mean, I guess the biggest thing right now is trying to like build that community, build that cult. So like, you know, similar to like what a Lululemon does, like those people, that's a cult. So like that's kind of why I started like the Phenyx Lounge, just kind of like be able to allow people to come on, you know, influencers and stuff like that, leverage their audience in a sense to kind of promote the Phenyx brand. And then so like with apparel, then, you know, shoot, maybe I do, you know, one day open a gym or anything like that. But like right now, the biggest focus that I'm working on is making this profitable enough to where the apparel side just continues to do well. I think once the profits become a lot bigger, then I'll focus on, you know, maybe possibly like a gym and stuff like that.
So where can people find the Phenyx Lounge? Is that a live show or a recorded show? Like I've heard you, I've seen you post about it, but I haven't checked it out yet, like personally.
Yeah, so no, the Phenyx Lounge is a live show. So pretty much what I do is, you know, I ask people to come on, and the intent is to have them promoted on their page, but they go through my you know my page to get a link to their live episode. And so that way I should be able to kind of like collect their followings, email addresses and stuff like that, kind of making them in my my group. So that's where I kind of like try to leverage other people's audience, and allows them to, you know, share their story and promote their story as well. And so with that, once that's over, I pretty much post it on YouTube and post it on and put it on podcast, because with Zoom, obviously everything's easy. So you're killing two birds with one stone.
Right.
With that.
So there's like an email address opt-in to get into the lounge?
Right. So if they want to watch, they want to get the link to watch it live, then they have to sign up through the email. I have a MailChimp landing page.
How well has that been going to build your email list?
Like I said, I mean, I just started this, like we're 3 episodes in. It's not like crazy numbers, but people are signing up. I just think, you know, if I'm able to get a few like bigger influencers kind of like in the thing, then people will be more excited to join. Because, you know, if you have these fitness influencers that are big on YouTube and stuff like that,
right,
their followings kind of want to watch them live. You know what I mean? So they'll be more enticed to sign up and get that link.
Yeah, that's dope. I think that we'll need to do that too. Just make the podcast live, have people watching in. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because, like, you know, you kind of like how I do it, just one person at a time. Like you could do it where I guess you could have like multiple people at a time, and that will probably grow the list a lot faster. But you know, for me, I just wanted to do it one at a time. That way I could get more content in a sense pushed out of it. And then with that, I just know it's like one of those things just gonna have to take time, and you know, people are gonna be able to come back later as long as I push the SEO right. You know, stuff will start funneling, and just kind of go from there.
Who are you really eyeing up to be like the influencer to push Phenyx right now? if you don't mind talking about it.
Yeah, no, you know, I just, like I said, I really want bigger people. I have a buddy out here, Charlie Coker. I don't know if y'all know him.
Oh, I know of him, but that's only because I watch Russell.
All right, yeah. See, like people like that, you know, that have like good engaged followings. That's the type of people I would like on the show because I know that their followers would want to watch them live. And so it's just kind of like getting the platform to a point where it makes sense for them to kind of like come on. You know, they're all busy and stuff like that. But I think
you in a great down there where you at, it's a great market compared to where we at.
Where's that?
In Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Baltimore's rough.
Yeah, like you down there where you got like 1,000 women who looking good walking around, a lot of athletes, you name it. So like, all you know, your ceiling is a little bit higher down there. Up here, a lot of people ain't got to be in shape for real.
Right.
Hide it with the clothing and stuff, so it's kind of hard up here.
Hey, if we get COVID-19 all throughout the summer, I don't think anybody
we might have to go to Texas.
Summer bodies.
Might have to go to Texas playing.
Like summer's canceled, abs this season are canceled, looking good. Just save it till next year.
Mess around and go to Texas to like a day party or something to start networking or something.
No, I'm planning on moving to Texas.
There's a lot of celebrities down there. Ain't no celebrities up here.
Yeah.
Nah, you got a really good community. I think. Yeah, that's what he's mean. You got a really good community to source from down there.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were talking about even opening up a gym, like the logistics of doing it. It just seems like it's so much easier to do that sort of thing in the South than in the DMV in terms of like buying land and the cost of like I mean, you know, they tax the rainwater in Maryland, right?
That's crazy.
Hey man, do not put a bucket underneath your little drain outside.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's about to be a minute.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, because like for example, I want to say like Charlie, I think him and like Christian Guzman and all of them, they partner up into opening that Alpha Land, and they're in the process of building that gym right now. Like I don't obviously know the process right now of everything that's going on with that, but you know, opening a gym is definitely something that's feasible. Just obviously a lot of work, but for me, it's like I don't care to do that part. Like I don't mind funding it and having someone else run it. Like for me, because like my ultimate goal is kind of like to be in a role of a VC where like people are kind of like pitching me investments, and then like I said, okay, this makes more sense. Let me go ahead and invest in this, and then utilize whatever networks that I have to allow them to continue to grow. That way I'm not doing too much of the heavy work. Like I'm really good at starting up a brand and building like from that initial phase, but like the part where it's coming to with the marketing and all that stuff, that's not really my strong suit. And that's where like I have no problem like trying to get someone on that understands that and does that well, because like I said, I'm not that good at it, but everything else that gets you up to that point, I can do no problem. Oh, real estate, I started in 2014. I bought my first property. So whenever I graduated college, I started working out in West Texas, small little town, like 10,000 people, Sweetwater. And a year after that, I was like, I might as well just buy a house. And, you know, houses out there were pretty cheap. I bought my first property for like 58.5.
Ooh, man.
My rent, like my mortgage or note was like less than what I was paying for rent. But it was crazy. Like 3 years later, or not 3 years, 3 months later, I ended up getting the job in Texas City. I started my oil and gas job. And like this is me not knowing anything about what I know now, but I got lucky as far as like I could like say if I was paying like $500 for my mortgage, I could rent it out for like $800. And so I was able to find a property manager, this lady that was starting her property management services, and yeah, she gets 10% of the earnings, and then whenever a new tenant has come in, she gets half of the first month's pay. But yeah, like I've left there in 2014, and I haven't been back since. But I'm collecting a check every month.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And it's crazy because I actually bought that house off of Craigslist. I found it on Craigslist, and then went through that whole process. But yeah, now I have 8 units, and then I'm 2 more that I'm closing on sometime this month.
That's what's
but
up.
those are with partnerships. But yeah, so I
was about to ask, how'd you finance the newer ones?
Yeah, so the newer ones I used my retirement money. So I switched my 401k over to a self-directed IRA, which allows me to invest in other things than the stock market. And because I know my returns, I know I can in a sense control my returns with real estate. Just because I've been doing it for so long now, that it just makes sense to kind of put in hard assets.
Did you put strategies like that in that book you wrote?
No. I wrote that book back in 2017, and that book was more so for if you're in debt, like how to get out of it, or like if you're about to get into something where you're about to go crazy with money, like be like sacrifice pretty much, like save your money, because you're going to need it. But I'll probably one day do a follow-up book about how to invest once I probably hit like $1 million or something liquid.
What's it called again? It's 1,000 ways, 1,000 reasons you're scentless.
10 reasons why you're living senseless.
Yes, I knew it was something about being broke.
That's probably going to be a big seller right about now. When people do get back into the workforce and got to pay off all the debt that they're accruing right now. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So how have you been pivoting then with the whole coronavirus thing with your companies? I mean, has it affected Phenyx Athletica or Blackseed Shares or anything?
No, so with Phenyx, not really too much. I've still been able to sell. The people with the stimulus check, they probably been buying some stuff from me. We'll be seeing what's going on in the next couple of months, but I still expect at least these first couple of months to still go well. Just because, like I said initially, with the support that we have from me and my business partners, like audience, like we'll sell out with our initial batch. Like we're planning to launch with like 150 4-ounce beer butters, and we expect to sell out of that just from our initial network. But kind of like going forward is where we're going to start pushing hard on the marketing and the ads. And I mean, we'll start doing that anyways, but like we won't rely too much on our immediate network after that first launch.
Who specifically are you reaching out to for marketing, or help in marketing, or strategy in that end?
So it's I guess it's a multitude of things. So the person I'm partnered up with, he's in a sense kind of like a micro influencer himself. He has a nice beard. Like people compare him to James Harden all the time. He's been like on the Shade Room a couple of times. He has like 33,000 followers on Instagram. But so like for him, he's used to like constant promotion, content creation kind of thing. And like I said, that's something it's not strong suit for me. So I let him kind of like take control of that. And I'm just watching, seeing what I can pick up for, my other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, other stuff, yeah.
When it comes to like the ads and stuff like that, I'm working with this one guy I met on Twitter. His name is Cody. He has someone that he could recommend, but he's going like we're going to do some stuff that allows me to kind of like tweak it first before we go with that guy, because obviously once you go with someone that's real, like that does this almost in a sense for a living, you're paying a decent chunk of change to have them do that. So I'm about to start testing ads because I've done it a little bit by myself, but like for me it's hard to understand where I have no problem spending money, but I want to see my returns immediately, as far as like, because with ads it's kind of hard. You have to test a lot, and that means you're spending a lot of money. If it doesn't work, then you just spend a lot of money that goes down the drain. But you just almost in a sense got to have that budget and just trust the process. And I think I'm finally at that place where I'm gonna just say, fuck it, I'm gonna just go ahead and trust the process, because I've done ads in the past and it's been flops with other stuff that I've done. So
there's so much to it in terms of like creating discovery ads and then doing A and B testing,
exactly.
Down to like psychology of like, should I make my button red or should I make my button green or blue?
Right.
There's so much to it. Yeah.
Man, that sounds crazy. So with the profits that you do get from Phenyx Athletica, how much of that does all of that go back into advertising?
Yeah, so right now it will go not just advertising, but for right now, what I plan to do going forward, most of that will go into advertising.
Gotcha.
Allow me to sell out most of this inventory and then kind of get to a point where I'm selling new products. But yeah, most of it will go into advertising. I don't take any of the money for myself. If anything, I put in more money just from other stuff into it.
Right. That's interesting. Just kind of trying to, I guess, running my little BS with like Facebook ads and Instagram ads. I've seen a lot of money go out. Well, not even a lot, because I didn't put a lot out, but I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't get anything out of this, but like a bunch of likes, and I'm not paying
for likes.
Right. Yeah.
Like
I want somebody to click and buy, if I can buy a product.
Right. No, I'll even share a story that I had, like a war story. I mean, it's not really fitness related, but me wasting money. So there was a brand like I started up a few years back. It was like almost drop shipping, where I was trying to sell like snorkel masks, and I was like, I created a page. Like the page is amazing. It looked awesome. I was like, man, I'm killing it. Like this thing's gonna take off. And I was like, all right, well, I just need a lot of traffic to kind of look at it, like to get to the page, and I should get a few sales. Man, I went to Baller Alert, and like at the time, I don't know how much it is now, but it was like $600 to run a post on their page, a permanent post on their page. And I was like, well, Baller Alert isn't like the true target, audience, but there's enough people that should be like, I should get a couple sales, you know what I mean?
Right.
And man, I ran that ad, and it got a lot of views, but that thing flopped. I didn't get one sale out of it. And then you start reading the comments, it's like, man, they wasted money on this. Like, this ain't the target audience.
Yeah. Like Baller Alert in the shade room, that's more female Pacific. Like, you gotta
right.
So how would you advertise to men, or is your brand going to be specifically geared at women going forward?
No, it's definitely both, but a little bit heavier on female, just because like women
spend more.
Women actually buy products.
Yeah.
Like as a guy, like I said, I like wearing my own stuff, and I would think that a lot of people would want to wear it too, with like guys, but unfortunately, guys don't really buy stuff like that.
Not at all.
compared to women. So I'll cater a little bit more heavier to them as far as like future products coming out. But yeah. But I'll still continue to grow it, because like there's still other brands like was it Revolution ASRV or whatever.
Yeah, I seen that.
I watched. I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, I wish they're high priced items, and they always sell out on their stuff.
I don't know how they do it because I know. I mean, I'm a guy. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it at that price point.
Mm-hmm.
I will take myself to Walmart and get some sweatpants and cut them up in half.
and this is where I think the whole like having, in a sense, that right audience plays into their favor. Like, I'm sure they have certain type of influence that might, because like those people, the people like the Charlie Cook, like the people that are big on YouTube, those audience, like you have people constantly tuned in to watch you. They're gonna buy whatever you're selling. Like, you get something with those type of people, they're gonna buy what you're selling.
Yeah.
And so, whenever they do their launches and stuff, they don't really have that big of an issue because
not at all. I've noticed that too. And to be quite honest with you, and it kind of ties into like your brand or like the clothing brands. It seems like if you are selling, not even gonna lie, and sell like if you're selling a commodity, it seems like the personality is selling it. So that definitely falls down into clothing. It's either got to be like a luxury brand that everybody recognizes, or when it comes to fitness, it seems like you got to have one hell of a presence online, and people will buy your $5 program that you took out of a $10 book like 3 years ago.
No, that's true because even with me, like when I started Phenyx, like I tried the route of, I was like, man, people ain't really fucking with me like that. Like, let me go ahead and do the route where like I'm working with Phenyx, or like promoting in that way where it's like I'm not the owner kind of thing. And it pretty much got to a point where I was talking to a few people that are like brand strategists and stuff like that, and it just got to a point where it's just like, yo, like you're like, I'm getting to a point where it's like I'm the brand, you know what I mean? So like people that fuck with you, they're gonna buy it, they're gonna support you, they're gonna do whatever. So as I continue to grow, it's might as well just go forward as like this is my brand, and
Right.
that's why I started like getting into YouTube and all this other stuff. So I'm kind of cross platform on everywhere, so that if I do like whatever, start getting to a point where I'm making it in that realm, then I can always promote Phenyx and be just fine in that way. But it's all learning.
I think that's really the route that most people should take. It's much easier to build a personal brand than to build a whole separate brand or company from the ground up, because like people know you.
Right.
They like interact with you and they're like, oh, that's Money Madu stuff. They'll go buy it. But like if someone were to send me Phenyx Athletica stuff, like the Instagram page, I'm like, oh, this is nice, it looks cool. But there's no like tipping point for me to like, all right, I'm gonna buy this. But yeah.
You know what's crazy? So whenever I first started it, man, like, because I've learned over the years that the whole don't rely on like your friends to support you, because like I said, like I made sure like my stuff is high quality, like really nice high quality. And I remember I'm pitching to people in the DMs like, hey, yo, I came out with this new jogger, like I have new joggers, you should buy it. Like I know you wear Nike and stuff like that, cop this, same price range, it's good quality, like cop it. And this dude comes back and is like, what's like separates you from like Nike and stuff like? I was like, yo, like what does that even be? Like what does that really even matter? Like the quality is good, like me. Like what do you mean? What do I separate?
That's what separates it.
Yeah, that's
like what separates it, the fact that you know me.
Yeah, that shit pissed me the fuck off, because like it's not something where I'm just making a shirt and I'm selling it for $30-$40. Like this is something I sourced, make sure it's like this is right, and it's not like I'm just selling you bullshit. And for them to come back and like, oh, what makes you different? It's like, yo, what about Nike? It's all about, I guess, how it makes you feel. But like that went with all that happening, like I said, it just kind of like got to a point where it's like, don't expect your friends. Like if they support, awesome, but don't go into anything expecting your friends to be your target audience, because they really aren't. Even if they should be and buy Nike stuff religiously, and
No, I definitely understand what you're talking about. I definitely realized that in the last few years that you just got to kind of do what you're gonna do, and then like whoever is gonna support you or like buy your stuff, they're gonna buy your stuff. And a lot of times it's the people that you don't expect to.
Right. Once you blow up, now they're gonna want to try to jump in. It's like, yeah, I'm good now.
I always believed in you. I knew you could do it. Like, man.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure to have you on, man. It was great conversation. You want to go ahead and I guess tell everybody where they could find your clothing brand and also your book and anything else that you got that's going on.
We'll make sure to put the links down below.
Yeah.
So just to find me, you can find me at Money Madu on Twitter, or not Twitter, sorry, Instagram. On Twitter, it's Cash Money Madu because they suspended me.
Wait, before you go, how big was your account when they suspended you?
When they suspended me, I was nearing 7,000 followers. So like now if I didn't have that suspension, I'd probably be over 10,000 on Twitter. Like I said, I restarted it, so I'm creeping close to. I'm like probably like 4,500 right now followers. But yeah, so Cash Money Madu on Twitter. YouTube, Money Madu on there, and then as far as like the line, so Phenyx Athletica, that's Phenyx Athletica, and that's on all social media. That's Instagram, Twitter, YouTube as well. And then if you wanted to see the other stuff like Blackseed Group, so on Instagram we're Blackseed Group, Twitter we're Blackseed Group, and the website is theblackseedgroup.com, and you'll be able to see all that stuff regarding stocks, real estate. Well, real estate majority right now. The stock side of that group, we ended up having to shut down last week because of the brokerage that we were using. They couldn't get funding for to continue their U.S. operation. So I ended up making the decision to shut it down because I didn't want to transfer it to another brokerage and cause a lot of hassle. But we ended up with like 46% returns in like 2.5 years. So I was pretty proud about that.
That's awesome.
50 members in that group, kind of like putting in $50 to $100 a month. But yeah, so you'll be able to see all that financial, real estate related stuff on that platform. And it's crazy because like the Blackseed page, that one's been going organically pretty well on Instagram. I'm nearing like 7,000 followers on there.
Did you make all the graphics yourself?
The graphics? Oh, so no, I paid a designer to create the templates.
Okay.
And then I insert the tweets and stuff like that on those.
Yeah, I thought that was a genius idea.
Yeah. So that one that allows me not to like think so much. Like literally all I do to get that content, I'm scrolling on Twitter, I see something that I think is cool, I just screenshot it and create that thing into a graphic and post that thing on my page. But I give complete 100% credit. Like I don't try to take it as my own. It's been working out for me.
That's what's up.
Yeah. For the book, you can find my book, 10 Reasons Why You're Living Senseless. That's CENTSLESS. And you can find it on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all that stuff. And if you're too lazy to search it on Amazon, I mean, it's on my Blackseed website as well. So, yeah.
Man, you're the busy man. I'm sure that your parents are proud. They must be hella proud.
Yeah, they are. I'm more so just hard on myself, trying to. I don't know. I put a lot of burden on myself. I kind of want to, in a sense, like my mom, she does pretty well. But like my sister's in mid school right now, nearing her last year. I just want to, like, in a sense, be able to cover that stuff so that my mom could just stop working and do that. My dad recently retired. He was a middle school math teacher for the longest. So Yeah, man, I put a lot of stress on myself, but I know I'm doing a lot of stuff as well. It's just one of those things. Like I just got to make it. I just got to make it.
Well, it was
All
awesome
right,
having you on, man.
Absolutely, I appreciate
it. Yeah,
pull up
thanks.
on you, man, down there.
Appreciate it. Yeah, if y'all ever in Houston, let me know. We'll link up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, as cheap as these flights are, I'm about to head down there next week.
Right, and the weather's been, I don't know what's going on with this global warming stuff, but it's been real cool around here lately. I've been enjoying that.
Yeah, man. All right, Fat Podcast, we're out.